There is hatred, let me bring your love. There is injury, your pardon, Lord. Where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there's sadness.
Hi, I'm Carolina Castorena, and this is Visions of Inspiration, and welcome to the show. I've got someone here that's amazing. He's been through so much in his life, and he's just come out a winner. He's done a lot of things in his life. He's gone through a lot of things. But I think the end result is who we are today as a person, as an individual, and what are we doing for God's people. I'd like to introduce John MacDonald, right?
Yes.
MacDonald, how are you?
Fantastic.
Good. Well, let's go back in time. Okay, let's go back when you were a little kid. What kind of family environment did you come from?
Well, primarily lower class, middle class, blue collar family, dysfunctional, alcoholic dad, that kind of thing. Yeah, it was
a little difficult for you, huh?
It was an interesting childhood, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, when did you find out your dad was alcoholic?
Oh, he was an active alcoholic until I was, I want to say probably 11 or 12 years old.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was all the things that go along with that,
Yeah. Now, you have a really cute accent. Where is it from?
From Boston.
So
Boston,
you're from
Massachusetts.
Boston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how do you think coming from an alcoholic family for you affected your life?
Well, it definitely, coming from that environment, there was definitely some adversities that maybe came from that or that I bestowed upon myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think it's set in course some things in my life that, some people think they might be good, some people think they might be bad, but I mean, I wouldn't change anything.
Why?
Because it got me to where I am today.
Yeah.
It helped me to make the person I am today.
I really do believe that. I believe that, not that we want to go through that again, not that we really wanted to go through that. I mean, if there's ways that we could avoid that, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for us, what we've gone through, because I also came from an alcoholic family, which was my mom, coming from 9 kids. You came from how many kids?
4.
4. Okay, where were you? The youngest, the oldest?
The youngest, only boy and the youngest.
Oh my goodness, and you were surrounded with girls.
Yes. Lucky me.
Yeah, yeah. So you grew up with your mom and dad. Your mom, how did you grow up?
Mom and dad until I was about 11 years old. That's when my dad got sober. As soon as he got sober, my mother kicked him out.
Oh.
A little bit of codependency going on there, I think.
Yeah.
And and then she kicked him out, and then wound up moving out with her boyfriend.
Wow.
At the time, and of course my dad wasn't in the house because he'd been kicked out.
Yeah.
So that created a very interesting situation because there was 4 kids, 11, 12, 14, and 15. And we basically had the run of the house,
So what actually was happening, from what I'm gathering, is you did whatever you wanted to.
Oh, absolutely.
No supervision.
None.
Okay. How did that affect you?
Gave me some great stories.
That's so neat. That's so neat. I believe that everything that we go through in our lives can be turned, all the negatives can be turned into positives.
Absolutely.
But it really has to do with us as an individual. And it seems like, you have been able to overturn those and turn them into positives today. So you went through a dysfunctional mom, codependent. Here I am, me too.
Yeah.
You know, I totally understand. You know, you were raised by your mom and dad until the age of 11. Then you went stay with your mom, and then you went back with your dad, right?
Yes, my dad was dropping me off at my mother's house one day, and you know, he kind of had a tear in his eye, you know, so what's the matter, you know? No, I don't have any of you kids, that kind of thing. And I said, all right, well, let me grab a bag and I'll move in with you.
Aww.
So so that's how him and I wound up staying together. And it was, I mean, you know, he was going through the whole recovery process, and had a lot of issues that he was dealing with, you know, in relation to that, and it was, you know, frustration and anger and stuff like that, you know, and but it was good times. I mean, it was seeing him get better, and you know, I kind of went through the whole AA process with him, and you know, I'd go to all the meetings with him, and you know, all that stuff, and we got close. You know, he was learning how to be a dad, you know.
Oh, that's good.
So,
yeah. So, coming from an alcoholic family, you know, from my understanding, coming from there too, is we don't feel, we don't talk, we don't trust. Okay.
That's probably true, yeah.
So at 16 years old, where were you?
Well, I left home. I ran away from home when I was about almost 16, like 15 years old, I think it was. Wound up being homeless on the street, and you know.
So you experienced all that too.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Sleeping in the back, you know, in the winter time, on the summer houses down in the water. You know, sleeping on the porches, and just, yeah, it was a very humbling experience. You know what I mean? So.
Good choice of words. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's move back and let's move on time. Now you got in and started working. You, from what I've seen you and how I met of you and talked with you and heard things about you, you know, you're a very giving and caring person. So let's move up with that. So you started working in different places, but in result, you were working with people, with lawyers, with DUIs, with helping people, because you experienced a couple of DUIs yourself,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes, I did.
How did you feel? I'm going to go back a little bit, and then we'll go into you know, what you worked with. But how did it feel for you getting, say, your first DUI?
Well, it was very frustrating. It was. I mean, I wasn't aware of DUIs nowadays in the state of California. I mean, it's a franchise. It's a revenue generating mechanism that the state uses for the most part. You know, yes, there are people that they shouldn't be on the road, and you know, I agree with that. But you know, when I got that first DUI, I was in the parking lot, and I had been, you know, in the bar, I had a few drinks, was getting ready to pull out, and decided, you know, I'm obviously intoxicated, so maybe I shouldn't be driving. So I was going to make a U-turn and go park the car and call a cab. Well, I was a little bit over that yellow line coming out of the parking lot to make that U-turn. CHP was there. It was 11:30 at night. Boom, pulled in front of me. They said, "You've been drinking?" I said, "Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm drunk." You know, but all I was going to do was park the car and call a cab. And he says, "Well, you know, do this thing and all that stuff." And I said, "Look, I can save you the time and trouble. You know, I'm intoxicated. You know." But I said, "Ask the girl sitting in the car." My wife was sitting in the car, and I said, "Ask the girl sitting in the car." Well, we were just talking about. He didn't want to have anything to do with that. You know what I mean? So he wanted to. So they wanted the arrest, and they got the arrest. You know. So, and it was.
What was your alcohol level?
0.16.
0.16.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many months did they give you?
It was a 3-month program.
Okay.
AB 541 class.
Yeah.
3-month program, which is great. I mean, I got to, you know, you definitely meet a whole new set of people that you wouldn't meet otherwise, you know. So made some friends from the school and stuff like that, the director and stuff like that. And, you know, real nice people.
Yeah.
And you know, but they bring people in to talk, you know, in one of the classes and about, insurance and stuff like that. And, you know, at that point, I'm running I built a $60 million a year organization that dealt with nothing but non-standard auto insurance, you know. So the guy that had come in and talk to us, he just was very misinformed.
Really?
Very misinformed. And maybe I shouldn't have been so
critical,
verbose. But I didn't have a problem with letting him know that, you know.
So you challenged him.
I told him you didn't know what he's talking about. Yeah. I said, if you're going to disseminate information to these people, you know, you should at least be accurate, you know. So, and then it kind of went away. You know, I didn't. I took care of a fair number of people out of that program. You know, helped them back on the road and stuff like that. You know, but the position that I was in, I wasn't so close to actually writing the policies. You know, there's 7 or 8 layers under me before you get to the person who actually writes the policies.
Wow. So,
and we had another mechanism for generating business and stuff like that. So it was stuff that, I mean, nothing that I really followed up on.
Right.
So
then you got your second DUI, and then what was happening there?
Yeah, well, you know, had I known now, or had I known then what I know now about, because I've spent a lot of time with a group of very, 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 very experienced attorneys. That DUIs is all they do. And I mean, every other month we're in a 3-hour class understanding, APS hearings and jury selection and filing pitches, motions, and all this other stuff. And but not having known any of that, you know, I thought that I was not intoxicated. And I was, riding home on my motorcycle, my wife on the back, and the cop pulls me over because I crossed over that yellow solid line coming out of the carpool lane. And he says, take a test. I said, sure, not a problem. Took his test. He said, take a breathalyzer. I said, sure, not a problem. Took the breathalyzer, 0.06, right? I'm fine. So I said, he goes, well, here. He asked me, one of the things they ask you is when you had your last drink. When did you have your last drink? I said, I don't know, like 20 minutes ago. We just had lunch, and we're going from Venice Beach down to Costa de Casa, right? So, when did you have your last drink? 15, 20 minutes ago. He goes, okay. Then we went through all the tests and everything, and then he says, okay, great. I said, okay, Spence, that's the guy's name, the cop's name. I shook his hand, thanks a lot, have a nice day, And, well, wait. Do some more tests for me. I said, Spence, not a problem. Here, what do you want me to do, Okay, here. And he kept me there for another 45 minutes.
I wonder why.
Well, he says, okay, one more breathalyzer and we'll get you out of here. I said, not a problem. He gave me the breathalyzer, 0.08. So, and what are you going to do? You know what I mean? There's nothing, okay, you got me, you know what I mean? So, and I did not know these attorneys even existed, this group of attorneys that I work with now. But sure enough, rising blood alcohol. He knew 15 minutes earlier, if it's a 0.06 and I'd had a drink 15 minutes earlier, for the next couple hours, that number's going up. So keep me there long enough and you'll get your stick.
It's very, people are not really knowledgeable or educated on getting a DUI, because getting a DUI is very devastating. I'm a facilitator and a group leader and a counselor in a DUI school. So I'm very familiar with what goes on. People some of them have no idea with their first DUI what it entails.
Right.
And you go through humility, you go through feeling violated.
Oh, absolutely.
There's all these emotions that you go through that it's just really hard to, really hard to deal with. But, I did a test with my clients the other day. I said, okay, I want you guys to write me all the positives of getting a DUI. And it was amazing. I got to know some people. I got to find out more about myself, and it was really, really good. And I said, no negatives, only positives.
Right.
So I would tell them I believe that, there's a reason for you guys getting a DUI. So for you to get a DUI and get your second, well, you experienced everything that you went through to be able to help these people now, to work with the lawyers, to help them to get their their license right away and their insurance right away and everything that they have to get. They have no idea.
Oh, and these people, when they call in, I mean, I'm working with in excess of 350 attorneys throughout the state of California.
Wow.
And it's something that I do not, in my company, this is something that I do not entrust to anybody else. Mm-hmm. I take these people personally, and I work with them personally. Mm. I'm the one that went through it. Nobody else, unless one of my agents wants to go out and get a DUI and go through it.
Yeah.
I take it all myself. And these people, when you talk to them, I mean, they're devastated. I'm a criminal. I've violated the law.
Exactly.
And you explain to them that, you and 138,000 people last year violated the law. Yeah. You're in a pretty exclusive club, so don't worry about it.
One thing that I tell them is that, what, the difference between you and the other people out there and myself is that we haven't gotten caught. I mean, I don't drink and drive anymore. I've been doing this for 17 years.
Right.
So I don't drink and drive anymore, but there are people out there that are still drinking and driving, taking that chance every time they get behind the wheel under the influence that they might end up killing another human being.
Right.
They didn't. Those that got the DUI did not kill another human being. Well, the ones that I've had.
Right.
I've only had one that killed someone. And that's something to be grateful for.
Absolutely.
So you've gone through all of this, you've experienced all of this, and you decided, like going on a crusade, okay, I'm going to save the world. Yeah. I'm going to help all these people. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people.
No.
It isn't anything about that. It's just that, they made a mistake, getting behind the wheel, thinking, sitting down, having dinner with a couple of glasses of wine is no big deal.
Right. Well, it's not. And I mean, at .08, I mean, there's just enough ambiguity there that, am I or am I not? I feel okay, and then, you do it past 10 o'clock at night, and the cop will say, well, you swerved, or you didn't have your blinker on, or your windows are tinted, or any reason they've got to pull you over to get that DUI. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that a glass of wine, a glass of beer, a shot, that's .04 right there.
Absolutely.
2, that's .08.
Boom.
You're gone. Your history.
You're a statistic.
Yeah. And, I ran into people that have lost their jobs. I had a police officer who just got into the force. He was only a baby, 6 months in the force. And he got a DUI, and they suspended him.
Right.
Hey, get off your probation, and maybe you can come back.
Right.
Another truck driver. Oh, he lost his house.
Commercial drivers, yes. That's
so,
a .04.
Yeah. So, it's a devastating situation. Matt came in, and Matt has helped put a lot of laws together, because I know back then, people in their 50s, 60s years old, because I work with multiple offenders also.
Right.
Man, they come in there and they have 5, 6, 7, 8 DUIs. I'm like, whoa, what happened here?
Right.
The laws weren't as strict.
Right.
But now, it's different.
Right.
Now people are thinking about it a little bit more, making better decisions, taking taxis.
Right. Yeah, they have the thing where they have the foldable mopeds, and they put it in the trunk of your car, and they drive you home, and,
Yeah. And people don't know that if you're in a bike, you're in a boat.
Same thing.
You're going to get a DUI.
Absolutely.
Boating under the influence, biking under the influence.
Lake Havasu, you see them all the time.
Yeah, but a lot of people have died, John, because of drinking and riding the boats, And I guess it was just time, don't you think?
Yeah.
To start doing something about it.
I had one client that was a .36.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
And it actually caused him to crash the motorcycle he was riding.
Wow.
In the dirt.
And he was okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh, jeez. The highest alcohol level I've ever had was a young lady that had .46.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And she had gone into comas because of her high alcohol level. Yeah, unbelievable.
That is.
Unbelievable. I think she had like about 4 DUIs, But you would think that .30 is, around the time that you would have go into a coma. No, she had such a high alcohol level that her alcohol level was 0.46.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that something? Yeah. And alcoholism is a disease. It's not, because I've seen people lose so much. I've seen people go through so much in their lives. And I've heard people say, well, it's a weakness. Well, no, it's not. It's a disease. Mm-hmm. And it does affect you in many different ways. So it's something that you have to really take a look at and say, okay, what do I need to do about this? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think, okay, well, if I stop drinking, I'm going to be okay. But like you shared with your father, alcohol and drugs is just a symptom of what the real issues are. Mm-hmm. So here's your dad, he stops drinking, and your mom thinks, yeah, he stopped drinking, everything's going to be great. Well, guess what? Now you have to deal with a sober alcoholic,
Yeah.
that you've never had dealt with for so many years. Yeah. And you know how to handle that. Being codependent is like, wait a minute. He's fixed. How am I going to fix him? What do I need someone that I can fix now.
That was your next marriage.
Yeah.
Another alcoholic.
See?
Active. Right.
Yeah, see?
Right.
It's interesting because we think that if we leave that man we married that was an alcoholic, that it was their fault. It wasn't about us. Right. And we turn around and we get married with someone else. Well, guess what? We are attracted.
Absolutely.
To the type of person we are inside. Even though we're not the alcoholics, we're the codependents.
Right.
We're going to fix you if it kills us.
Yeah.
Now you're married now, right?
Yes.
And you have children.
Yes, 2 daughters.
And how old are they?
One's 24 years old. She'll be 25 in April.
Aww.
And the other one will be turning 15 in November.
Oh. And your wife, what's her name?
Sally.
Sally. Now, how does she put up with you?
You know what? I'm not sure. We spend quite a bit of time together. I mean, we train together.
She works
work
with you?
Together. Yes, she does.
Oh, my goodness.
I write the policy. She counts the money.
Spends it.
Yep. So she's actually an RN, BSN RN, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and a registered nurse.
Really?
And she's done that for many, many years. And with what we do, with what I do, it worked out well that she was able to come in and we were able to work together, which is great because.
And it's okay, huh?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's
wow.
Yeah.
So what I noticed you're doing is you're balancing your life out. Because sometimes when you come from an alcoholic family or you have problems with alcohol, you go from one extreme to the other. Either you're alcoholic and you stop drinking, or, you don't do anything.
Right.
And it seems like you pretty much balance yourself out.
Yeah, we have, it's, the important things, my 24-year-old, she's off living in Colorado, and she's, doing fantastic out there.
Uh-huh.
And the 14-year-old, it gives us, we're very committed to her school, her education, she's a cheerleader, we're
Aww.
very involved with that. She's accomplished almost a 2nd-degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Wow.
So that's been a lot of traveling around to all the different tournaments and all that kind of stuff with her for that. So it gives us, being the proprietor of the business and having us work together, then, it's, if she has a tournament or a cheer competition or something like that, well, it's easy to talk to the boss and say, hey, we need to be there for her, that kind of thing. So it makes it so that we can almost wipe out the line between home and school or home and extracurricular activities. And so it makes it so that we're all very involved with one another.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah, it makes for a fantastic relationship. It's, I never had that as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
And so it's just really, really cool to be able to share that, with your kids and your wife and stuff like that, and have the freedom. We're very, very fortunate to have the freedom to be able to do that with one another.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've given a lot of your time for free. You've helped so many people. What do you get out of it? What kind of feeling do you get within yourself?
Well, you know, if you love what you do for a living, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, being able to take these people that are in what they see as a hopeless situation and be able to work with them to help them, help them through the process. And, you know, it goes beyond it. I go to the point where I'm contacting the schools for them and setting up the appointments for the orientations and, you know, finding out which schools will work with them or will not work with them. And it's just, it's very rewarding, you know. The best thing I can get is not writing the policy. It's having the client come back to you after the fact and say, you know, thank you. Thank you for being able to help me with this. Thank you for letting me know that I'm not a bad person. Thank you for walking me through this so that I know, you know, what to expect. I know how I'm going to handle this. I know that this is the time frame that this is going to take. This is what's going to happen, and, you know, and get them past it.
Yeah.
You know? So that in itself that's what makes you get up Monday morning and go, you know, going to work and saying, you know, geez, I can't believe that I make a living doing this. You know?
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah. Being on the other side and being the facilitator and enrolling them, you know, help to calm them down a little bit is a blessing. I love what I do. Anyway, guess what? It's time to go.
Oh, thank you so much.
This is for you. This is an inspirational award.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
You know, for being involved in this and knowing how, you know, how important it is to help other people. Okay?
Thank you.
This is Carolina, Visions of Inspiration. God bless all of you. Please, God bless our troops and pray for them. Thank you so much.
There is hatred, let me bring your love. There is injury, your pardon, Lord. Where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. There's discouragement.